Ian, Austin, congratulations. Your hard work has paid off, and you guys are moving into the third and final round of this supersized competition. In this final round, you're going back to your home forges for 4 days to build an iconic weapon from history. Bladesmiths, we want you to build this. The Japanese greatsword.
The Japanese greatsword rose in popularity during the 14th century. Reaching lengths of up to 5 feet long, this massive single-edged, slightly curved blade was designed to deliver deep, penetrating cuts upon enemy soldiers, on foot or on horseback alike. While this enormous weapon became too impractical for battle by the 17th century, it can still be seen in many action films, including the classic 1954 Kurosawa movie, Seven Samurai.
Good luck, gentlemen. We will see you in 4 days.
My name is Austin Frakes, 37 years old, from a little town right outside of Houston, Texas. I'm a sergeant with the local police department. Over my professional career, I've seen a lot of the ugly side of life, and a few years ago I picked up bladesmithing after watching Forged in Fire. I like to make beautiful knives.
This thing is absolutely ridiculous. It's huge, it's obscene.
Almost a foot to go in length. Hoping I can get it to length quickly and get this thing quenched as quick as possible.
Right in between the two parameters. Perfect. Almost like I planned it.
The heat treating process is going to be difficult due to the extreme length and the fact that I've only got an 18-inch long forge.
We are skating.
I know the blade is good and hard.
Happy dance.
All right, that's enough of that.
I am putting on faux, not real, alligator skin to give this sword a little bit of my Texas heritage down here on the dirty third coast.
Everything looks good so far. Now it's just time for the handle wrap.
I'm just trying to make it so that it's not uncomfortable for the judge's hands.
My hands are now cramping severely as I'm doing this nearly 21 inches of braid. As I finish it up, I think it looks pretty cool. It just needs an edge, and then it's test time. I did grind the blade thin, and I'm hoping that the lighter weight and the thinner profile will help it cut better while still being thick enough to retain its edge during the damage test. Whoa!
My name is Ian Zimmerman. I'm 19 years old, and I'm from the small rural town of Bedford, Pennsylvania. Probably what got me started making blades was just my dad being a carpenter. We made a lot of wooden blades, and I looked at him and I said, wouldn't it be cool if this was metal? And he's like, let's do it.
All right, so we are pretty much at length to where I want to be.
I'm pretty much done, and I'm ready to get it up to temperature and quench it.
So my gas forge isn't actually big enough to do the heat treating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a ditch and make a kind of like a redneck coal forge.
I have the blade in there. I'm just watching the temperature and just making sure I don't overheat it. Things are definitely heating up, literally.
It's hardened.
I am really happy with how it came out.
Sweet.
So next thing I need to do is I need to shape this handle and get it actually ergonomic and feeling good in your hands, because this handle's pretty big.
All right.
It's starting to fit my hands really good. I really like it. It is now a fully functional sword. This thing is a beast.
So I got the Kashira put on. It's shaped. I really like it. I am ready for, yeah, making it look cool.
I start wrapping this handle. It's going really nicely. The brown and black contrast is awesome. It's starting to look like a finished product.
There we go. Very nice fit.
Cool.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the dynamic keel test. That's with great disappointment that I have to say that I will not be able to wield your weapons to test it, but Dave Baker will be enjoying and doing your tests. Ian, you're up first. You ready for this?
Go for it.
So Ian, right off, scale-wise, perfect for my hand. The wrap is really well dialed in. Your blade, every single one of those cuts, it was deadly. Your edge is still a razor blade. It lost no edge whatsoever. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, Austin, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Austin, right off, your sword has a lot of height to it, and it's got a lot of mass to it, but it's really nicely balanced, which I like. An issue, there are some dull spots on your blade, dull enough that I can run my finger back and forth on it. But I really like the look of this blade. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Hi, bladesmiths. Welcome to my dynamic test. They steel wind chime and fish slice. Ian, you're up first. You ready for this?
Not really.
Well, get ready. It's coming.
All right, Ian. First things first, I'm impressed. This edge doesn't really show much of any indication that it had been smashed into steel wind chimes. You know, you can see the cuts on all these fish are nice and clean. The handle wrap is really comfortable. The dimensions are good. All in all, nice job.
Thank you.
All right, Austin, you're up, man. How you feeling?
Let's get it over with.
All right. Oh. All right, Austin. Well, you're all in one piece. Well done. Where I was hitting the wind chimes, each time I hit them, you lost more and more of your edge. There's some rolls that I can get a fingernail underneath. So as I was progressing through the fish, they became more and more difficult to cut through. But all in all, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Bladesmiths, you both impressed us the entire competition, but at the end of it, only one of you can come out on top, earning the title of Forge and Fire Champion and a check for $10,000. Today's Forge and Fire Champion is Ian. Very well done. Austin, unfortunately, your blade did not make the cut, and Doug's going to tell you why.
Austin, what it came down to is the dulling you took during our test, it just underperformed on the dynamic kill and sharpness test, and those are the reasons why you didn't win today.
I agree completely.
Well, Austin, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you pound steel in the forge and come out with two massive blades. But unfortunately, your time in this competition has ended. I want to say thank you for coming out, but I'm going to have to ask you to please step off the forge floor.
Thanks, y'all. I don't like to lose, but Ian's a great guy to lose to. That definitely makes it easier.
Well, Ian, congratulations, man. That makes you a Forge and Fire champion. You'll be getting a check for $10,000. Very well done.
I'm still kind of in shock, still a little shaky, but really excited though, really thankful.
How you feeling, bud?
Pretty good. Thank you guys. The amount of people that I've met, knowing what I can do in such a short amount of time, I learned so much.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. All right, let's dive right in. On your anvils is a cloth. Go ahead and lift that up. That is a piece of pristine 5160 spring steel. Today, you'll be forging friction folders. Good luck, bladesmiths. Your 3 hour starts now.
My name is John Clark, and I'm from Portal, Georgia. I am a full-time police officer and a part-time bladesmith. A friction folder is a knife that has a lot of mechanical aspects to it. The tricky part is you have to create a pivot point. That way it will fold out and fold in evenly without any breaks or gaps.
Come on, let's move some steel. I like the way Bob's hammering.
I'm designing this blade as I go, with every hammer blow, and how it's going to fit together. My thought process on having my tail a little bit higher than my spine is so that when the friction folder is open, you kind of have a guard.
I draw the material out and I start to visualize how this knife is going to be. At this point, the knife is revealing itself. Then I start shaping the blade.
Looks like Asutsa is going to make us a very thin, very shallow blade. You've seen some of the tests we do. You would think you would want to fuller that blade out, get some size into it. We don't play games with these tests.
I've got to focus on that pivot point and how the handle material and the tang and the tab on the end of the tang are all going to work together.
The hardest thing about making a friction folder is the little joint of the knife, the folding part. Right now, I'm mainly afraid of the area where the tang starts.
That ricasso needs to be flat, as in both sides parallel. So if the ricasso gets wide or flares as it gets closer to the blade, that's going to throw off the scales. And that could affect the way that the blade sits in that friction folder handle.
Yep.
It's time to quench, and if this blade warps on me, the warp is not going to allow for that blade to set inside a friction folder, and that will send me home.
Oh! I think John just lost his blade in the bottom of the oil.
I could feel the blade with the tongs, but I could not get a good grip on it. I decided I might as well just grab it. This has got to be a stupid idea. I have just placed a piece of metal that was at about 2,200 degrees into this vat of oil.
Prepping his arm for the dump.
Now I'm having to reach into the bottom of it to pull it out.
We're gonna see some deep fried arm.
You got it, John.
There we go.
I am ecstatic. No warps, no cracks, and no chips. Oh, thank God. It's hard.
Look at the size of the tail that Bob is putting on there. The only concern I have is as that knife pivots, it's gonna have to have a lot of room in that handle for the tail to slide into.
All right, so Bob is in the oil.
The quench is critical because if you don't get a knife hard, it'll never hold an edge. Testing it with the file to make sure that I'm hard. I feel better now than setting down to an Idaho baked potato and a 2-inch steak.
When the steel takes on the color of the sunset, that's when it's ready to receive its soul.
So with a nice slow quench into the oil.
The knife will always receive the soul once it's quenched. All the work you've done up to that point is finalized. You don't go back from that part.
10 minutes, bladesmiths!
So I'm at this grinder, and I'm totally unfamiliar with this machinery. The grinders are removing a lot of material very fast, and I'm not accustomed to that.
I am a little bit worried that it's got those bevels coming past that pinhole. Nothing's gonna line up very well. Because the sides of the ricasso are just not gonna be parallel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't go completely in all the way, so the tang pretty much remains unquenched. That's what I want, is the tang to remain soft and strong rather than brittle.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This round is over. Bladesmiths, now it's time for the judges to take a closer look at your work. John, please present your blade to the judges.
My biggest concern is your pivot hole. Now, that's the only connection this blade is going to have to your handle material. That's maybe a third the size of the connection you want for a pivot. It's just a weak spot, so I'd like to see you do something to beef that up. Thank you.
Bob, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
I like the shape, very aggressive shape. I'm not sure if I like the alignment of the tail, though. It's either going to be an interesting handle configuration, or this is going to be high, or the blade's going to be low when it's opened or closed. But I like the beginnings of this.
All right, Derek, please present your blade to the judges.
I really do like the shape of this and the look of it, but my brain's trying to figure how that curve is going to go over that straight. And I'm not sure if you're designing this to sit on top of the handle or to lay into the handle, but if it sits on top, make sure that's comfortable and it's not creating hot spots.
Atsatsa, please present your blade to the judges.
Well, I like the overall profile of this. One thing I do have a problem with, though, is your ricasso is basically matching your blade. With a tapering like this into a V shape, the handle scales will also form a V shape, and the blade won't have a straight section to fold into. That ricasso tapering that way, that's just going to cause a lot of problems.
Bladesmiths, the judges have made a final decision. The bladesmith leaving the forge is Atsatsa. Your blade did not make the cut. David Baker's going to tell you why.
Atsatsa, you brought us a classic blade shape, but unfortunately you fell into a couple of the classic traps when making a friction folder. The grinds, your bevels, go all the way into the ricasso, making a wedge shape. And that's not going to line up in your handle very well and be snug. If it's snug when it's closed, it's not going to be snug when it's open. We feel going into a second round, your blade has more work than any of the other smiths. That's why we're letting you go.
Atsatsa, please surrender your blade.
I think the judge's decision is very valid. So when I go home, I'm definitely gonna focus on getting a grinder and just practice on that one. I'm feeling a bit down, but I'm so stoked that I was actually able to come and be on Forge and Fire and just like compare myself to these amazing bladesmiths. And definitely will be something I remember for a lifetime and a great motivator and teacher